Welcome to ZoomInData, your go-to channel for in-depth data engineering, analytics, and modern cloud technology interview preparation. In this video, we dive deep into the top 25 data transformation techniques in Microsoft Fabric interview questions for 2025. Perfect for data engineers, analysts, and anyone preparing for Fabric Data Factory, Lakehouse, or real-time intelligence roles. We cover key techniques across data flows Gen 2, Spark notebooks, pipelines, event streams, Delta Lake, ETL, ELT patterns, performance optimization, governance, and best practices, all explained in clear, interview-ready technical language to help you confidently ace your next interview. 1. What data transformation techniques are used in Fabric? Fabric supports low-code transformations via data flows General 2 with over 300 Power Query operations, including joins, aggregations, pivots, and AI-assisted steps via Copilot. Code-first approaches leverage Apache Spark in notebooks for distributed transformations using PySpark, Scala, or Spark SQL on Delta tables. Real-time transformations in event streams enable no-code filtering, aggregation, windowing, and SQL operators for streaming data. SQL-based techniques include stored procedures in warehouse and TSQL scripts for set-based ELT operations. 2. How does Fabric support ETL and ELT? ETL is facilitated through data flows General 2 and pipelines, applying transformations before loading into destinations like Lakehouse or warehouse. ELT leverages OneLake and Delta Lake, loading raw data first and transforming post-load using Spark notebooks or warehouse SQL. Hybrid patterns combine fast copy for ingestion with subsequent Spark or dataflow transformations for flexibility. Medallion architecture, bronze, silver, gold, standardizes progressive refinement across ETL, ELT workflows. 3. How are transformations implemented in Spark? Spark uses DataFrame API for declarative transformations like filter, select, join, and group by in PySpark or Scala. Catalyst Optimizer and Adaptive Query Execution dynamically tune plans for efficient joins, aggregations, and shuffles. Delta Lake operations enable merge, UPSERT, optimize, and ZORDER for schema evolution and performance. Structured streaming supports incremental, stateful transformations on unbounded data. 4. How are transformations implemented in data flows? Data flows General 2 utilize Power Query M-Engine for drag and drop steps like column management, merging, and conditional logic. Over 300 built-in transformations support cleansing, unpivoting, and calculated columns with query folding for source pushdown. Copilot enables natural language prompts to generate or refine transformation steps. Modern evaluator and partitioned compute engines optimize complex, non-foldable operations. 5. How does Fabric handle data cleansing? Data flows General 2 provide built-in steps for removing duplicates, handling nulls, trimming, and data type validation. Spark notebooks use data frame operations like drop duplicates, NA, fill, and custom UDFs for advanced cleansing. Event streams support in-flight filtering and manage fields for real-time cleansing. Profiling tools in data flows and notebooks identify anomalies for proactive cleansing. 6. How does Fabric support data enrichment? Joins and mergers across multiple sources in data flows General 2 or Spark enrich datasets with reference data. Lookup activities in pipelines and semantic links in notebooks integrate external dimensions. AI function transforms in data flows enable enrichment via cognitive services or custom models. Real-time enrichment in event streams uses unions and expansions from multiple streams. 7. How does Fabric manage complex transformations? Spark notebooks handle complex logic via UDFs, MLLIB integrations, and multi-stage DAGs. Modular staging in data flows breaks complex flows into reusable queries with intermediate materialization. Pipeline orchestration chains multiple transformation activities like notebooks and data flows. dbt jobs enable SQL-based modular transformations with version control. 8. How does Fabric optimize transformation performance? Query folding and early filtering push operations to sources in data flows general to. Delta Lake features like vorder, zorder, and optimize enhance file layout and scans in Spark. Partitioned compute and modern evaluator parallelize non-foldable transformations. Incremental refresh and fast copy minimize data volume processed. 9. How does Fabric ensure transformation accuracy? Preview modes and diagnostics in data flows validate steps incrementally. Unit testing in notebooks and dbt models verify logic with assertions. Lineage views trace transformations for impact analysis and auditing. Idempotent designs and reruns prevent inconsistencies on failures. 10. How does Fabric support incremental transformations? Incremental refresh in data flows processes only changed rows based on date-time filters. Change data feed, CDF, in Delta Lake enables Spark to read row-level changes. Structured streaming with watermarks handles late data incrementally. Pipeline triggers support Delta loads via parameters and lookups. 11. How does Fabric manage transformation dependencies? Pipelines define activity dependencies with success, failure paths. Medallion layers enforce sequential refinement from bronze to gold. Git integration versions interdependent notebooks and data flows. Deployment pipelines manage environment-specific dependency overrides. 12. How does Fabric handle transformation failures? Activity retries and dependency routing in pipelines recover from transients. Detailed logs and monitoring hub provide error diagnostics across tools. Checkpointing in Spark streaming ensures resumable state. Alerts and notifications integrate with Teams or email. 13. How does Fabric support schema transformations? Schema on read, write in Delta Lake handles evolution with merge and auto creation. Data flows manage column additions, renames, and type changes dynamically. Spark infers or enforces schemas with explicit casting. Event streams adapt to schema drift via mapping rules. 14. How does Fabric manage transformation metadata? Lineage views capture end-to-end flow from sources to transformed outputs. Purview integration catalogs metadata for governance and discovery. Endorsements and descriptions promote trusted transformations. Exportable M scripts and JSON definitions preserve metadata. 15. How does Fabric enable transformation automation? Scheduled triggers and pipelines automate recurring executions. Spark job definitions parameterize batch notebook runs. CD with Git and deployment pipelines automate promotions. REST APIs enable programmatic orchestration. 16. How does Fabric support real-time transformations? Event streams provide no-code in-flight filtering, aggregation, and windowing. SQL operators enable complex real-time logic on streams. Structured streaming in Spark processes unbounded data incrementally. Derived streams route transformed real-time data to multiple destinations. 17. How does Fabric ensure data quality during transformations? Built-in validation rules and error row handling in data flows. Profiling and anomaly detection identify quality issues early. Assertions in DBT and custom checks in notebooks enforce rules. Purview scanning classifies and protects transformed data. 18. How does Fabric integrate transformations with pipelines? Pipeline activities invoke data flows, notebooks, or DBT for transformations. Parameter parsing enables dynamic, reusable logic. Orchestration chains transformations with data movement and controls. Unified monitoring tracks pipeline-level transformation metrics. 19. How does Fabric support transformation testing? DBT models include built-in testing for uniqueness and relationships. Notebook unit tests with assertions validate outputs. Preview and diagnostics in data flows enable step-by-step verification. Deployment pipelines facilitate staged testing across environments. 20. How does Fabric handle large-scale transformations? Distributed Spark processing scales across autoscaled clusters. Partitioned compute in data flows parallelizes large datasets. Delta Lake partitioning and clustering optimize massive tables. High-throughput event streams handle streaming volumes. 21. How does Fabric manage transformation costs? Capacity-based pricing aggregates across transformation workloads. Incremental patterns and autoscaling minimize active compute time. Monitoring tracks consumption for optimization. Fast copy and query folding reduce data movement overhead. 22. How does Fabric support reusable transformation logic? Modular queries and staging in data flows enable reuse. Custom environments and libraries in notebooks package functions. DBT models and macros provide declarative reuse. Variable library centralizes parameters across items. 23. How does Fabric ensure governance of transformations? RBAC and item-level permissions control access to transformation artifacts. Git integration and deployment pipelines enforce reviews and promotions. Sensitivity labels and purview propagate compliance. Lineage and auditing ensure traceability. 24. How does Fabric support multi-source transformations? Over 170 connectors enable merging from diverse sources in data flows, pipelines. Unions and joins across queries handle heterogeneous data. Event streams support multiple streaming sources with unions. Shortcuts provide virtual access to external sources. 25. What are best practices for data transformations in Fabric? Adopt medallion architecture with incremental, idempotent patterns for reliability. Apply early filtering, query folding, and partitioning to optimize performance. Use modular, version-controlled logic with Git and deployment pipelines. Implement robust monitoring, testing, and governance from the design phase. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you prepare for your Microsoft Fabric interview, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your network. Don't forget to subscribe to ZoomInData and hit the bell icon for more in-depth data engineering, analytics, and cloud technology interview prep videos every week. Drop your questions or topic requests in the comments. Let's zoom in on your success together.